athletes that needed to make a time as far as advancing. We heard a huge explosion of applause way off to the end of the pool, and that's because somebody made the Olympic trials qualifying time. So it really kind of separates these athletes.
It wasn't for Willicone, right? It wasn't for Chase Kalish. It was for some boys who were making their first Olympic trials. And this is, for so many athletes, that is a dream come true for most.
Sure.
And, you know, just to be able to be there, see that energy, there's no other meet like it. Really special.
And we're getting ready for another special event here once again in Austin. That's the women's 400-meter freestyle. As mentioned, the athletes coming out, and Allison Schmitt will be coming back very quickly. And a lot of people really don't appreciate how much these multi-event athletes have to swim during the course of the trials and the Olympic Games. Obviously, they train for it. There is Schmitt.
This is a chance for someone like Schmitt to kind of sharpen up her multi-race day. And so for her to swim the 100 free and the 400 freestyle, those two races, people don't usually do those in swimming. This is a chance for Allison to go from a sprint to a middle distance race, bordering on distance. And that's tough. It's one thing to go from a 400 to 100 within swimming, but to go from 100 to a 400, you've got to take it down a gear. And that, I think this is where we start seeing where people's conditioning really is.
Allison Schmitt will be in lane 3. Sierra Runge will be in lane 4. And Lotte Friis out of Denmark, an Olympic bronze medalist, will be in lane 5. Those are the top 3 qualifiers, and all of them train together in North Baltimore.
So this is neat for them. You know, they're with each other every day. This is a chance for them, though, to be able to come, stay in a hotel, feel like they're swimming a big meet, and race each other, race other people, kind of sharpen up hone those little fine points that need to be done.
Just underway, 400-meter freestyle will be followed by the men's event, and then the last 2 events on the program of this day 1 will be the 100-meter butterfly. Michael Phelps will swim in the final event of the evening. There's the Olympic qualifying time, and very, very important. If we hear a big explosion of applause, that's a big moment outside of maybe the top 2 or 3 minutes. A great opportunity for one of these athletes to go on to Omaha and swim in that very unique setting.
Very unique. It's this pool, the lights turned down, lights and music, and it's a show.
Well, it's in a basketball arena, and it's the same pool that was put together and used at the Invictus Games. If you were able to see that, our coverage here on ESPN, those games founded by Prince Harry, His Royal Highness, and it was my great pleasure to cover the swimming competition there. But the facility in Omaha for the Olympic trials is unique, and it is an amazing environment, and that's where the Olympic team will be chosen.
Yeah, there's a reason it's been there for the last 2 Olympic trials. It's game broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Already at the 100, we have Sierra Schmitt in lane 6, the double of 44, taking it out. But the whole field looks very steady, very strong.
Let's set the entire race field. Rachel Zelinskas will be in lane 1. Joanna Evans, a sophomore at Texas, just finishing her 2nd year here in Austin. Allison Schmitt, Sierra Runge we talked about, along with Lotte Friis. Sierra Schmitt, who was leading through the first 100 in lane 6. Quinn Carrozza will be in lane 7, and Haley Hertzberg will be in lane 8.
Lotte Friis, you can see right there in lane 5, just everything, even about her stroke. She's already taking it a little bit faster. She swims longer distances than any of the other girls in this race. She is also maybe the most experienced, and she's fresher than Allison Schmitt right now, which means she might be able to take it out a little bit quicker.
That bronze medal that I mentioned she won in London was at 800 meters. So to your point about being a little bit more capable or ready at these longer distances.
She has that tempo. She's already picked it up. She has the 200. She was a 202.62. That is very good for the 200 and a 400 free.
To use an analogy a little bit in track and field, talking about a 10,000 or 5,000 meters, do swimmers throw in a surge to try to really put pressure on the field in some of these longer races?
They do, but everyone's got their points to when they might. You know, someone like Lotte may be able to go out faster sooner. Someone like Sierra might want to wait just a little bit longer. And you can see still Allison and Sierra, both lanes 3 and 4, they're not going anywhere. They're hanging on Lotte pretty well. Whether they're biding their time, but you see Lotte, her tempo is just picking it up quite a bit.
Fries there with the lead in lane 5. Allison Schmidt in second in lane 3. Sierra Runge in lane 4. So each of them has their plan with respect to splits.
That's right.
And they know it. Nobody's telling them what their splits are, but you just know innately what you're swimming through each 100 or each 50.
And you can judge it too by the competition that you have. And so you see Allison Schmidt right now in lane 3. She's even giving Lottie a little bit off that third turn, or that third 100 turn. She is starting to give Lottie a little bit of a push here. It's really long, much different stroke than Lottie's stroke. But this last turn is going to be very, very telling. So Lottie goes in first in the last turn, 50 meters to go.
So Fries will lead, coming off the final turn in lane 5, Sierra Runge in lane 4. It's really a two-woman race right now, and Fries putting in a little bit of a push off that final turn, and now with a lead. And Allison Schmidt, remember, coming back in less than half an hour after her win at 100 meters, but Fries pulling away using that endurance that led her to a bronze medal in London at 800 meters. And Runge coming back now in the middle of the pool, trying to take over for Allison Schmidt, and she's going to get in for second. So Fries wins it in lane 5, the winning time of 4:06.82. Sierra Runge in lane 4, 4:08.04, and Allison Schmidt fell to third in 4:08.36.
So Fries' time of 4:06 is going to be one of the best times in the world this year. Both Sierra and Allison have great swims. Allison, you can give her a lot of credit for coming off the 100 and still going to 4:08.3. That was pretty special.
Yeah, she'll feel pretty good about that. And as mentioned, there's some pretty good feelings in the middle of the pool among these Olympic champions and Olympic bronze medalists, because they have been able to get a feeling of where they are. But some of the biggest, most important moments tonight are those athletes, and you just saw one of them who qualified under the time of 4:17.99, and they're going on.
Haley Hirschberg.
For Haley Hirschberg, that is a big, big moment in her young swimming career.
That's it. And so you see at the halfway mark here, or the first turn, Fries already started to put the distance between her and the rest of the field. She never really relinquished it. And you see this right here, full body length lead. This is what 2.5 seconds looks like in a 400 freestyle. Everyone had a really good swim. That was a pretty swim.